I got my first fairy loot book ever today, and I
Oh.
can say that it is absolutely worth the $60 in exchange rate that
God.
I had to pay to get it.
Not sponsored, but we
It's
will
not,
accept sponsors.
But I will accept a
Loot.
sponsorship because your books are beautiful.
Not sponsored, but we'd like to be.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Midlight Crisis, a real podcast hosted by three grown-up biologists revisiting books from our teens, and it's totally cool. I am one of your hosts, Sophie, and today I have been genetically recombined with a bird, and for some reason that has given me a superpower. So the bird that I have been 2% genetically recombined with this week is a burrowing barber stork.
Oh.
Aw.
Just a whole, 6 foot tall stork.
Yeah.
Burrowing.
Oh yeah, I
Burrowing.
forgot storks are that big.
It's a little concerning.
But it almost sounds like an actual common name that you
Right?
would give
Yeah.
a bird. Yeah, it's not that far off.
I'm imagining just you see a hole in the ground, like a little burrow, and then just enormous stork head and neck pops
Yeah.
out of it. It's like, what?
Just a giant beak, out of the
Yeah.
ground.
And I'm assuming they're probably called barber storks because their beaks look like scissors.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm a real animal, I guess. What about you guys?
Well, mine is not so realistic, but my real name is Sam, and today I am genetically recombined with 2% of the solar system destroying teeth gerb.
Sorry, what was that last part?
I don't know how to say this
Grebe,
bird.
perhaps?
Is it a grebe?
Oh, grebe. Yes.
Perhaps
Okay.
a grebe?
Grebe?
Gerb.
I am not an
Maybe Gerb is your name.
ornithologist. Birds actually terrify me because they're actually
Aw.
dinosaurs, and
Yeah.
the fact that they're little dinosaurs scares me. So,
That's
what is it,
fair.
a grebe?
It's a
Yeah.
grebe. They have fun little feet. Actually, you'll probably hate them. So wait, you're a solar system destroying
Teeth grebe.
teeth grebe.
Teeth
Oh
grebe.
no. It's got teeth.
Teeths.
It really is a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying.
That's like one of the major differences between dinosaurs and birds is the loss of teeth.
Honestly, loss of teeth is way more horrifying to me than teeth grebe.
Fair. Or maybe it's have you seen pictures of geese with those teeth?
Oh yeah, the geese
tongues.
teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably what you have.
Ah,
Fair.
and you use them to destroy solar systems?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Dang. You should
Dang.
be in the locked tomb.
I was gonna say.
Oh, I should.
Anyway, I am Hannah, and today I am 2% recombined genetically with a bird. That is the warp hole bean wren.
The warp hole?
Warp hole? Warp
Be-
hole?
Yeah.
Bean wren.
Bean red.
Bean wren. I am so small.
Wow.
Everything I say is in
Just a little
superscript.
bean.
Extremely tiny warp hole bean wren.
Wow. I like how you got warp hole, Sam got solar system destroying, and I got burrowing.
Burrowing.
Dig hole in ground.
It's great.
You're like, dig hole in ground, and I'm like, good idea, but consider dig hole in space-time. And Sam's like, good idea, but consider further. Destroy space-time.
Destroy it.
Destroy it.
Wow.
Wow. There's a progression in there.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, the reason we are 2% recombined with superpowered birds this week is because, of course, we are reading Maximum Ride. How about you guys tell us what happened in the 4 chapters we read this week?
Sure thing. So, chapter 33 starts with a banger as Iggy and the gas man are now hiding out in the old log cabin, which is mentioned that the flock used as a hideout frequently before. and they are formulating their next big plans against the erasers. But just as they agree to go home and make more plans, an eraser starts scratching on the door and calling them little piggy, and it's friggin' creepy.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's a lot. The boys try and figure a way out, but the one eraser breaks through the door and another pops up at the window, meaning their only chance of getting away is to fight to the death. But then the chapter ends and we go to chapter 34, which takes a 180 and brings us back to Nudge and Fang, where Nudge wakes up to a missing Fang and starts to panic. She soon finds him, though, flying around with the hawks, where she then declares she's hungry, and they go off into the nearest town to dumpster dive some goodies. After filling their stomachs, Nudge declares that they need to go find Max or continue on to save Angel, which Fang agrees to circle back and look for Max, and so that's what they head off to do. Yeah.
Well, Max wakes up in chapter 35, and also she wakes up in Ella's bed, feeling both safe and terrible. She thinks about how nice it is to be taken care of, and also about how Fang and Nudge are probably doing voodoo on her by now. And then Ella and her mom appear and offer breakfast. Then in chapter 36, we pick back up with the bombastic bird boys and their eraser fight. There is some taunting and some extremely quiet planning, and then Gasman and Iggy escape by jumping straight through the roof and taking off. Once they're up in the air, they drop the big boy bomb, and poor 8-year-old Gasman gets to watch the two erasers burning to death. And then he sees the Hummer coming, and they're like, oh my god. And they have to make a hasty exit.
Damn.
What a wild time.
Just a selection of interesting scenes. I really like about this first chapter that in the last Gasman and Iggy chapter from our previous episode, I was like, man, we gotta go to the clubhouse, or to the cabin to regroup and make a plan. And then they go to the cabin and they're like, okay, we gotta go home to regroup and make a plan.
Yeah, like, why did they come here?
Why were they there in the first place? I guess so they could blow it up with a bomb later?
Yes,
exactly. Just so that they don't blow up their house. I don't know why they, started to leave. There's no reason to put that in there.
No.
None whatsoever.
Just have them start to plan there and then be like, dang, we gotta go.
Dang erasers, yeah. We hear them.
I feel like it would have been cool if they had come here and they found, oh, yeah, I forgot this is where we left those files. They should have had to come here and been like, oh, here's the thing. Yeah. Instead, it's just like, let's just go here. And then they're like, anyway, we should probably not go here.
Even, just have the erasers show up before they decide we're going to go home and leave.
Yeah.
Here, right?
Yeah.
Because that... Anyway.
No, that's the longest note I have on this chapter. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, what kind of a plotting is this? It's like, we went here, we sat down for 10 minutes, and then we were like, well, okay, time to go.
Anyway, this place sucks. Let's go home.
This place sucks. This was another one where it seems like it's a Gasman POV, and then you get Iggy feels tiny vibrations with his feet.
Yep.
You're like, so how does Gasman know that Iggy is doing this?
Yeah. One sentence where it's Iggy.
There's one sentence of Iggy POV, and the rest is Gasman.
I don't think they know what they're doing with this whole POV. It's just absolute chaos in this book.
Did anybody edit this book, do you think?
It's whichever POV can get the piece of information they need to get across as concisely as possible, because again, this would have been a very clearly Iggy is a very important POV for this one moment. I would argue the most important moment of this half a page long chapter.
Yeah.
And there's a way to write this that probably wouldn't take that much more time.
Yep.
From Iggy's POV entirely. You could have him come in and be like, oh, he remembered how this looked.
Yeah.
Right? Did he have his vision?
No, he didn't.
When he first arrived. Okay. Then he could be like, it seemed like nothing had changed. He could
it still smells
the same. It smelled the
same,
the air was stagnant.
he could ask Gasman to describe it to him and then be like, oh, it sounds like nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There could even be something where he's like, oh, he heard Gasman trip over something, which he was pretty sure he had tripped over the last time they were here too. There's there's fun ways to do it. Anyway, I'm not mad about it.
Listen,
it doesn't matter.
The Gasman is lovely. He seems like a nice little child, and I do enjoy his POV.
Yeah.
But he is the less interesting choice
Yep.
of the two of them.
Yep.
And also, he can't feel Iggy feeling vibration, so what the hell?
What the
Yep.
hell is going on?
What the hell is going on?
Just take that sentence out then if you wanted to
Yeah.
be Gasman's chapter.
Yeah, or
Mhm.
just, like, he noticed that
He
Iggy
saw
suddenly,
Iggy
like, went
freeze.
still.
Yeah.
And then a moment later, he feels it too.
Mhm.
There's a way to put across that Iggy feels something, and then the gas man realizes something's happening.
Yeah.
But that's not
It's
what they
fine.
did.
It's fine.
Fine. Here on Midlight Crisis, we go super easy on weird writing choices.
Yeah.
We're known for accepting idiosyncrasies with grace.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure it's just because around the time that I read this book originally, I was also obsessed with this book about a kid who goes blind and gets like a seeing eye dog.
Aw.
And
Aw.
like it's his story about like getting this dog and like learning to work with this dog and like be someone who's blind, and it's like about the world and him going through it, and it's written for like, you know, middle grade or YA people to read, and it's just like, that was so good. This could have been that good.
Yeah.
Like he did a great job writing that book. Why couldn't someone do a good job writing this book? Anyway.
This book would have been so good if somebody cared.
Yeah.
I know, like, we've had criticisms of, like, Twilight and Aragon that were like, man, this could have been good if, like, such and such a thing was different. But it never felt in those books like the author didn't care. Whereas to me, this feels like James Patterson's team didn't care enough to make this, like, a good product. They
Yep.
just wanted to make a product.
Yeah, it does feel like it was pushed out too quickly, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, it needed another go through the editor.
Like, it's James Patterson. How did it not go through 4 or 5 editors?
But I feel like, to Hannah's point, though, like, he's probably kind of like a corporate machine, whereas when
Mhm.
you work in corporate, you're constantly pressured to put out things extremely quickly, and the quality is often compromised because you have to meet deadlines and stay on project or whatever. And I kind of see James Patterson's publishing as a similar analogy to that.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably, they don't have any, like, be all end all projects and deadlines, but maybe James Patterson is just like a crazy project manager and is just like, this book needs to be out now, no questions asked. And so,
On
like,
my desk by Tuesday.
and so these
Yeah.
authors and editors that are ghostwriting for him and editing or whatever are just under these like impossible timelines, which obviously quality is going to suffer
Yeah.
as a result. But because he's James Patterson, it doesn't matter because people are going to buy his book no matter what with his name on it. So it's just like, it doesn't matter, it could be crap. And so they just send out whatever without proper QA, QC.
I mean, I remember not. That's probably very true.
Yeah.
I didn't notice any of this as a teen, so maybe he
No.
was
Well, yeah,
right.
that too.
Yeah.
I will say, I remember not liking this series growing up because I thought the writing was juvenile and like didn't make any sense. Like, I remember that being a distinct feature of this series, and why I didn't continue reading it or after the 3 books or whatever was that I was just like, I cannot stand how this is written. And I was 16 or whatever.
Because did you start it when you were 16?
Yeah, I read this after
Right.
like Twilight, Mortal Instruments, all of that, because I was looking for like another like, oh, what's the next big series? Because like at the time, like there was only 2 Mortal Instruments books. I think the 3rd came out. There was like, I don't know. I had read everything.
There was Aragon. You didn't read that.
I did it because I thought it was too boyish, and I was a little girl, which is very
It
stupid.
is
I
pretty
realize.
boyish. There were like 2 female characters in that book.
Yeah. But no, I was looking for like the next like City of Bones, basically, because that was kind of like my favorite thing after Twilight. And so I picked up this thinking it was that. And
No.
it was not.
Not even a little bit.
No.
So I'd say if you read it when you guys read it, you probably didn't pick up on it, but I read it late enough as a teenager that my memories of it were that I was like, this is a badly written book.
Yeah, and I again, I didn't read after the 3rd one either. So clearly we all reached that point kind of at the same time.
Yeah. I think I made it a little further than you guys, which I feel like makes sense because
Mhm.
I don't like things to change, and also I'm a completionist. But I also got to the point where I was like, the series is so inconsistent
Yeah.
among itself that I can't do this,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is too bad because it has so much potential.
It
It has the
truly
potential to be
does.
so good.
It does.
Yeah. But I do feel like this is a victim of
The James Patterson industrial complex.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That's a perfect.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, but yes.
Yeah,
That's
whatever that means,
exactly it.
it's that
Yeah.
specifically.
Anybody
Yeah.
who's worked in corporate and had unrealistic deadlines and had to pump out documents, even with proper QA/QC procedures in place, but your bosses just push them through, they know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
They know.
Sure.
So, you know, eventually one day we'll probably stop complaining about this specific thing in this book, but at least we
Yeah, it'll be
will
when we
not.
finish this book.
Yeah, at least we'll be done with it for this episode, I think.
Yeah.
let's move on a little bit, shall we?
Let's move on to the part where the erasers show up at the door at the window
Uh-huh.
and at the window and say, I don't know, make some like spooky taunt. And Gasman describes the voice as one that could ask you to jump off a cliff and you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that means?
You go, Sam. You think your thought first.
Mine's more inappropriate.
Oh,
No,
you think that he thinks the eraser's
like,
hot?
Is it a
It's
sexy
bedroom
voice?
voice.
Okay.
Gasman's gay, confirmed.
Confirmed.
If I wasn't reading a children's book,
Yeah.
yeah, like that the way it was described was almost just like someone in the bedroom was convinced you to do anything kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my brain, when you have like a villain or an antagonist that's saying something, they're not saying it in a way that makes you want to do something. Like
Yeah.
have you ever I don't think I've ever experienced
No.
that where it's like you have a villain character where it's like you're just kind of holding on to what they're saying and you're like, oh, I would do anything.
So, literally what I was thinking, because I have been listening to Ono, Ross, and Carrie, where they investigate wild claims of supernatural and also wellness and stuff like that. They're on like part 12 of visiting the Ark encounter in like Kentucky or something.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, can you
So it's
elaborate?
like it's like a recreation of Noah's Ark by a Christian group. They're like young earth creationists, etc. They've like done all the math, they've figured it out. And so like it is funny to think about, but they record a lot of the stuff they go to see and then they'll play clips of it during the episode. And hearing a very charismatic and popular,
I see where this is going,
Christian,
yeah,
essentially cult leader.
Yep.
These like indoctrinating speeches and ways of twisting words and just like the way they talk is very what I was getting from this. And it's only because I was just listening to that earlier today and that's what I was thinking. Like I was like, this is how cults start.
As you were saying that, I was like, oh wait, no, this is the villain that does this, right? Yeah. Because they're the villain you don't think is the villain at first, but then you realize what they're saying and it's like, oh, this is like a load of shit.
They like twisted it around and because so I was trying to look up like voice science. And I will like there's I don't know how to look this kind of stuff up. So I didn't spend much time on it, but most of the stuff that first came up was like how to tell if someone likes you because of your voice. So a lot of it was what people find attractive in a voice, which is where Sam was going with it. So
yeah.
Correct.
I mean, they do purr.
Yeah.
In one of these
It's
chapters.
a children's book, though. My head should have gone there.
I mean, okay, listen. Clearly, one of us is the most juvenile person in this group, because I read that and I was like, oh my god, I wonder if he has, like, brain control magic.
Maybe. I mean, well, I was the one going cult leader, so...
I was like, oh my god, it has to be magic. But it also is described kind of sexy.
Right!
I would argue an angelic voice is them specifically trying to make it not sexy, you know?
Did he say angelic? I missed that
Yeah.
adjective.
The whispered voice, serene and angelic.
Oh, jeepers, that's creepy.
Yeah.
You kind of imagine them going like, "Here, piggy, piggy."
Ah, that's so
yeah.
creepy though. That
Yeah.
wouldn't make me want to. Well, it might make me want to jump off a cliff,
No.
but not for the reasons they state
yeah.
in the chapter.
But it sounds like someone who's like trying to mind control you, right?
Yeah.
That's true. It does.
Yeah.
Like a hypnotist.
Yeah. The other stuff I found was more into like, you know, the stuff you've kind of always heard, where it's just like, if you speak with confidence and like calmness and like pitch your voice low and like relaxed and you keep emotion out of it, essentially, like, yeah, people will listen to what you're saying more. People just respond better to like confidence. But I was so mad reading this because it was coming down to like, yeah, there's like a dominant submissive way that people talk to each other, in that like when you feel like you're talking to someone who is like higher social status than you or lower, you'll pitch your voice differently.
Yeah.
And I was just like so mad because they were like, anyway, when you're talking to someone you think of as like, if you are trying to be submissive, you have a higher voice, and if you're trying to be dominant, you have a lower voice. And I'm like, this is a man-woman thing, isn't it?
I was just gonna say.
They did go into it more, and they were like, both men and women do this. Like, you lower your voice if you feel more in charge, and you higher pitch your voice if you feel like you are trying to, like, I don't know.
Like appease,
the other person.
That explains why customer service voice is so high.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But I also feel like this is a result of human social conditioning. It's like the reason that this happens, though, is because the male voice, the lower voices, tends to be more dominant from a social, cultural point of view. But it does work better for dogs, too, when you're training them.
Yeah, because, like, again, they do specifically say men also pitch their voices higher when they are talking to someone they perceive as higher status than them, or that they're trying to appease and stuff like that. And, like, I think from, again, the very general look I took at 4 things, it was like, it's like, yeah, when your voice is lower, it's usually because you're calmer, right? Like, you are not as stressed, you're, like, more in control, you're just sort of, things are flowing, you're comfortable. And everybody kind of pitches their voice higher when they're a little bit more stressed, when they're a little bit more anxious, you know? And so it's like, okay, it kind of makes sense that low voice is you being like, I'm in charge, and high voice is you being like, nah, don't hurt me.
Touch me.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so now that's something you'll notice every single time somebody does a talk for you. You're welcome. Anyway, you did jump right into this and gloss over the creepy taunt that the...
Yeah, I did. I didn't...
So Hannah didn't like it.
Want to.
I want to talk about it because it's the big bad wolf and the 3 little pigs.
It is.
But there's only 2 pigs!
There's 2 pigs.
The big bad wolf, the eraser, knocks on the door.
Yeah.
Well, scratches creepily on the door.
Are you going to explain the big bad wolf?
No, but...
Fairy tale to us?
Well, you guys didn't say what he said, and he says, little pigs, let me come in, which is the exact line from the 3 Little Pigs story.
Yeah.
And I just like it because at the end of the original 3 Little Pigs story, the last pig tricks the wolf into the chimney where he lights him on fire.
Oh. Interesting. So it is apropos
of what happens here, because they explode them with the bomb and they all die of burning.
Wow.
Lovely.
So
great.
That's why I want to talk about it.
Okay, continue.
That's all I had to say about it.
Oh.
Really. Actually, no, there was one other thing I wanted to say, because I just looked up the 3 Little Pigs and went to the Wikipedia page, and the big bad wolf was like a blue link, and I was like, okay, well, I need to look at this. And so I was like, why is it a blue link? This is how I end up on Wikipedia for hours. But it was just like, the big bad wolf appears in many fairy tales, blah, 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 like lists a bunch. And then it's like, a lot of scholars believe that the wolf represents winter, and Little Red Riding Hood, when he eats her, represents the sun, and when she is cut from his belly at the end, rising again, it is spring. And then it's like 2 paragraphs on the Wikipedia, and then the last one is like, Dr. Valerius Geist wrote that the fable was likely based on genuine risk of wolf attacks.
Oh my god.
Because it's a valid reason to not want to go out into the woods and be eaten by a wolf.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
actually, he's probably right.
She's got a point.
It's probably not people being like, and the sun is eaten by the night, which is the wolf.
Yeah, it's you tell your kids, don't go into the woods or you're gonna get eaten by a wolf.
Yeah, you're gonna get eaten by wolves.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was just very funny to me. That's all I had to say about it. No other relevance.
Should we do the other Gasman and Iggy chapter here and then go back? Do you think? I feel like that's better continuity. I like that Iggy's plan is to jump straight through the ceiling.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, whatever works.
Though.
Yeah, it does work. It's pretty badass, actually.
Yeah. He smashes right through it.
He smashes right through there.
They must have really strong legs. This
oh my god,
starting
he
to make
so hard.
Yeah, they got mad hops.
Mad hops.
Probably to get them into the air.
Yeah.
But this place, I got the impression that it was too small to like fly in, like even take 1 or 2 flaps, but it seems like Gasman can.
Yeah.
I guess it did have to kind of fit 5 bird kids.
That's a good point.
For a while. But yeah, maybe they don't have super powerful legs. Maybe he just jumped a normal amount and then flapped. Probably
that, but I like the Mad Hops theory better.
If they have like a 13-foot wingspan to take off, they would have to be able to jump.
You'd have to be able to jump 13 feet, wouldn't you?
You'd have to jump 13 feet in order to get that first downstroke.
That's even more than an 8-foot vertical leap.
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't think birds put their wings fully down. Anyway.
So if they had an 8-foot vertical leap,
it
would be appropriate.
That sounds appropriate.
Griffin McElroy is a bird kid confirmed.
Oh.
So the erasers come in with like cartoony villain taunts, which even Gasman notices that they are like cartoon villains, and I'm definitely going to get back to that. But the taunt is that they don't need Gasman and Iggy alive because they have Angel.
Are you kidding me? You just need one sample? What?
We've discussed that they're satisfied with their n equals 1. They're going to murder all of their other priceless research subjects.
Yep.
It's fine. Listen, the one they have is female, so like maybe they don't want to.
God. Oh god.
Do you really want me to get started on this? Because like
No, we're not doing that. I think it was just interesting that there's like confirmation that they specifically wanted Angel and don't care about the rest of them.
Or they just wanted one?
Yeah, I feel like they were specifically targeting Angel because she's subject 11.
Yeah, like, I guess now that I'm thinking about this for 2 seconds, like, they're gonna bring back the bodies, right? So
I assume.
Because it says that they don't need you two alive. So maybe they're counting on Max and at least one of the other ones to also chase them down. But it seems like poor planning to kill 2 when you only have 1 confirmed alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm, for whatever reason, operating under the assumption that they want Angels specifically for nefarious purposes and the rest of the bird kids are superfluous. I don't know why specifically I think that, but that is how I feel.
Yeah, I feel like Angel is the success, you know?
Yeah.
I just feel...
Tell us how you feel, Sam.
Their science is heavily flawed, and they are not the smartest of individuals, and they may not have gone to graduate school at the best school. That's all.
You know, making sure you have samples at different life stages is actually about the closest they've gotten to good science.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah. I argue to call any of this good science.
All of it's bad.
Bad science.
It's all terrible from the sense that just the ethics are fucked up, and so from there nothing can be good about it. Yeah. But if you're at least gonna do terrible ethics science, at least make sure your sample size is representative and that you're doing good science. for the bad science. I am talking myself into a terrible circle.
No, it makes sense though.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
I see what you mean, but I also feel icky to say it out loud.
That's also how I'm feeling. I'm like, I don't like this coming out of my mouth, but I'm like, you get my point. It's like, if you're gonna do it, like, at least do it right, because then what you're doing is a complete waste of everything, because you can't make any scientific conclusion on what you're doing.
You're just gonna have to make more bird kids and murder them again because you haven't done anything with these ones that's usable.
Why did they even make them if they're just gonna let them go and then go kill them?
They're gonna fucking get published in Nature, though. I know it.
But, like, what a waste of resources.
Because they're in the friggin' high-end sciences or whatever. This isn't high-end sciences. Stop it!
Listen, okay, every episode we don't have to qualify that we are against doing experiments on children, okay? Or human experiments at all.
We should just make that the tagline of our show.
Yeah.
3 grown-up biologists revisiting books from our teens, and it's totally not cool to do experiments on human children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me rephrase the thought, though.
Okay.
And that this is the kind of science that if it were in some universe on the moral ethics thing, it is the kind of science that would get published in something like Nature and Science, which they wouldn't really care if there's an N=1, because I gotta tell you, there's a lot of published science out there with improper experimental designs, and they're making conclusions based off data that isn't reproducible, which is a big, big problem. So ladies and gentlemen and non-binary all alike, we always think of our stats before we do an experiment, because you have to be able to make a scientific conclusion that is both reproducible and I forgot the other word I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah. Totally.
Robust, probably.
Yeah, that sounds right.
The difference here, if these 5 bird kids were bird adults and they were adults and they had given permission to be genetically recombined with a bird, then this still would be bad science.
Mm-hmm, it would be.
I would consent to that study.
I would also. Not the part where they make me drink Kool-Aid and run on a treadmill with a cattle prod, but
yeah. But the part where they give me wings, I'm on board.
Anyway,
the eraser also says that, and then he gives a silent grin. As opposed to what other kind of grin do you think?
A laughing grin?
One of those wet, squishy ones.
One of those loud grins. He just opens his mouth and goes,
Or a moist grin.
Edit that out of my memories, please.
That was awful. I regret even saying it now.
So glad I'm not editing this episode.
Yeah, I didn't think that through.
This is chaos.
Okay, you can't only put this on them, though. Other books have said a silent grin many times.
Yeah, I just don't usually read other books where I have to spend an hour talking about 4 paragraphs.
Yeah, that's fair. I can't believe... Okay, wait. I can't believe we haven't started talking about the erasers transforming yet.
Yeah, let's start that.
Yeah, forget their silent grin.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
I want to talk about them transforming into werewolves.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember how we thought we were gonna have to pick a different book to talk about werewolves?
We did think Turns
out we can talk about them here.
But this isn't traditional lycanthropy. This is genetic recombination, and it's not the same.
It's not the same.
I don't know how this works.
No.
Oh, no idea.
Not a clue.
I have some thoughts.
Okay.
I have some thoughts that maybe we can build off of. The first is kinetic skulls.
That's a horrifying collection of words.
Okay, have you ever seen a video of a snake trying to eat like a egg?
It's true, I have.
Mm-hmm.
So snakes have like multiple joints essentially in their skull that can cause like their skull to move and change shape. And like the hinges are positioned so that like the brain case itself doesn't like squish or move like within it, but like the brain case will move, right? But it won't smush the brain, is what I'm trying to say. And there are a lot of reptiles and obviously fish that also have very kinetic skulls. Like if you've ever seen a fish that's like a suction feeder shoot out its whole head essentially,
Oh yeah.
that's also a kinetic skull. So the only group that doesn't have kinetic skulls is mammals. Except for hares, which apparently have like a small, like some kind of hinge at some part like around the brain case somewhere. I don't remember where they said it was. But
great.
And it's to help with like jumping, like when they land, it doesn't like smash their brain.
That's good.
The little bit of motion acts as like a suspension. And then the other thought I have is because their teeth.
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess we should explain what happens.
We should.
Their faces began to change, becoming more wolf-like, their muzzles extending, their teeth protruding until it looked like they had a mouthful of knives. So the muzzles extending, like, was what I was imagining, the kinetic skull happening.
Yeah.
Kind of just like shifting in some way, like out, I guess.
Maybe it's just like sharks. And instead of their whole skull changing, they just shoved their jaw forward.
Yeah, like a goblin shark.
Yeah.
I'd buy it.
Yeah, and then to go with that, vipers have hinged fangs.
Oh, true.
So they go up into their mouth so that they can have a much longer tooth than can actually fit in their mouth. Yeah. So maybe they are part wolf and part snake.
Sure. Why not, honestly?
I mean, nothing would surprise me at this point.
Life finds a way.
Yeah. How many teeth do you think they have? Because humans have 32 and wolves have 42.
That's a lot.
That's like a lot of teeth to fit in one mouth.
Yeah.
Do you think they have like an in-between number? Or a regular number for one species or the other? Maybe they have 10 extra teeth that just like pop out of their jaws when they extend.
God.
Oh boy.
I hate that. I get those like teeth dreams a lot, and they are the absolute worst, and I regret bringing this up.
Fair.
It's funny because in this it just sort of says their teeth protrude. And so it's just like, it does kind of give the impression that they just got much longer human teeth.
But they also sharpen, so they're like knives.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, no, they do say it just has a mouthful of knives.
Yeah, they sharpen so it looks like knives.
Okay, sure.
But it does say sharpen. But that could just mean that the edges are sharper, not that they become like pointed or anything.
Where does it say sharpened?
Their teeth protrude and sharpen? Did I make that up?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's carry on.
Yeah. No, but I feel like just flipping down some fangs.
Yeah.
Could be fun.
I like that idea. So fun. Wow. So, Sophie, what science did you come up with to explain the fact that they spontaneously grow a bunch of hair?
You're not gonna like it.
Oh. Is it a parasite? Because I swear to God.
Oh, I should look up parasites.
No.
So this was the part that I was like, I don't have any friggin' idea what this is. But I was trying to think of like what it could conceivably be, and I was like, what if it's not actually hair?
Oh,
and it's like, you know, like no, but I'm imagining like you know, like on the back of like a sea slug, they have all those little papillae.
No,
the little
no
flappies.
Ew.
No.
Well, I was imagining what if
you
they
think
like
it's less weird if it's skin?
Well, no, but like not skin, little flappies, or
of
like
skin,
hollow hair or something that they can like inflate.
Gross.
It's better than anything I thought of, so
yeah. The only other thing I thought of is that, like, you know how they say, oh, if a dead body is growing nails, they're a vampire, and it's actually just because the skin is retreating. I was like, maybe they're just like sucking
the skin
their
tightens.
muscles in.
Yeah.
Body is deflating.
Maybe they're, like, partially chinchillas, and they have extra hair per follicle, and when they turn into a werewolf, all of the follicles, like, tense so the hair stands up, and it just makes them look fluffy and big.
Whoa.
Because that's what cats do. They fluff up to look bigger. Maybe that's what all the erasers are doing. They don't actually change size.
Sure. And maybe they have special, like, structural pigments in their hair that make them only turn dark
Yeah, maybe.
when it's up in the air.
Listen, the way the hair is structured, it reflects light differently when it's flat versus when it's all sticking up.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's it.
It's see-through when it's on them normally.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we'll work on that one.
We'll workshop it.
We'll workshop that. I feel like the two snake thoughts are good.
They are good.
We need to look into the hair more.
The hair is a problem.
I don't know how to explain that one. Did you know,
Sorry,
What?
I'm anticipating.
Why are you laughing at me?
I'm just anticipating.
Oh, listen, did you know the fastest growing tissue on Earth is deer antlers?
Oh.
And that's still only half an inch per day.
But, I mean, if it's hair, half an inch of hair is pretty long.
Per day?
They grow it spontaneously.
Yeah.
What if you just accelerate that gene expression so that instead of whatever millimeter a day, it's millimeter a second?
Yeah.
That's true. The growth of antlers is controlled by hormones.
So you just up the hormone.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Alternatively, bacteria such as bacillus can double in size every 10 minutes under optimal conditions.
What does that have to do with this?
What if they just have strands of filamentous bacteria?
Nope. Okay, we're moving
That's
on.
worse than the first thing.
That's disgusting.
No. Like, no.
I refuse to consider this any further.
Oh, what if it's like slime molds? That could be fun.
Oh my god.
I hate this.
Algae?
I'm on team that it's their normal hair and they just have more of it and they've had a gene expression changed through hormone control that allows them to grow their hair really fast.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't explain how they lose it.
It like dumps a bunch of testosterone or whatever.
Maybe they have like a pump attached to them and they just like have to like click a button and it's just like
So we're going with the inflation thing again.
No, I was gonna say it floods their system with testosterone, let's
like
say. And then that and then that signals their hair to be like poof.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys.
Nope. Sounds good.
It's mysterious.
Okay, so I'll write down bacillus bacteria for the future biology episode.
No.
You're the worst. One of them also has a bionic eye.
Oh yeah. What the hell?
What the hell? It's a stainless steel ball with a laser in it that burns Gasman's clothes.
Like, why would you want it to just do that all the time?
I have no idea. Also, like, can they see with it?
Yeah, what? I think that's the implication.
It's implied, because they're taunting Iggy for being blind, which is like, okay.
Cool.
Maybe let's not make fun of the disabled child who was disabled specifically by the actions of your employer.
Yeah.
And then they're like, man, if only they had blinded you and then scooped out your eyeballs and replaced them with these stainless steel balls with lasers. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, that's not the flex that you think it is.
Like, you can't look at your other eraser pals or you'll burn them. Like, what?
Yeah.
You can't look at breakfast, you'll burn it. Like, what?
I wonder, like, maybe they can turn the laser on and off.
Yeah, like, what if you're driving? Anyway.
They also, I find it interesting that the writer, like, goes out of their way to make the erasers taunt Iggy about his blind eyeballs and then to showcase their super cool mechanical eyeballs, and then Iggy just does not get to react at all.
Yep. Because it's a Gasman POV.
Yeah.
Hannah, we don't get an Iggy POV.
I want an Iggy POV, though.
Not until a later book, I'm pretty sure.
Dang it. Not until he learns how to feel colors.
Yeah, because then you can write just how things look anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe the hair is another mechanical
Stop!
adjustment. I'm just saying, because they have a robot eye. Maybe they're like Transformers. They flip their skin inside out. And the other side is
What?
hairy.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Oh, what a good book.
Oh, I'm dead.
This is the
I'm
worst.
done.
Sam's gonna go
Okay,
leave
sorry.
us for a book.
I'm done talking about it. We're
A
done.
different
We
book.
can
Yeah.
move on.
There's like a more fun science thing later. I think, do we have to keep talking about this?
No, we
No.
can talk about the more fun science thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Before we move on from these two, I just want to reiterate that they do blow up the cabin using their big old bomb. We still have 2 more chapters to go, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's switch over
Let's switch over.
to, I guess, chronologically, Nudge and Fang.
I think this is a much more fun topic. The hawks are flying in patterns to signal each other, and I thought
Yeah,
that
is
was
that a thing?
that's so. I was like, Sophie, is that a thing?
Like, bees communicate through interpretive dance, but do birds?
Yeah.
No.
Sophie?
Oh, they
No.
don't.
Well,
Oh,
okay,
I'm so
again,
disappointed.
this is
I was so
something-
looking forward to this.
Okay, sorry. I only looked at hawks.
Mhm.
I
Oh.
did not look at other species.
I guess there's birds of paradise.
Did you look into bean wrens?
I didn't because I only learned those existed today after we started recording. Also, like, Ferruginous hawks aren't
They're
like
not
as
social.
social, really. Like,
They're hawks.
they hunt together, but they don't like. So there's one other hawk that hunts in groups that is like more well known, I guess, because it's easier to keep in captivity and like people use it for falconry a lot, is the Harris hawk. So they are very commonly seen in big groups, and they are like more known as a social hawk. Like they're pretty much, I think, one of the only ones. And so I was trying to look into Harris hawks because I was like, surely if there's anything, it'll be in them.
Uh-huh.
And like, again, baseline perusal. Like I didn't go super deep dive into this because I didn't have time. But the most is that like they have a very white tail, and they think that like the white tail, like flashing it, like opening and closing or flicking it, is communication of some kind.
That's interesting.
The only other thing that Ferruginous hawks do, and a lot of hawks and eagles do, is they will do courtship aerial displays.
This makes sense, yes.
Yeah, so they will do like fancy flying tricks for each other.
With the hawks?
So yeah, I could give it the benefit. Like maybe I didn't find anything.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just not looking the right way for this kind of thing. I didn't really know what keywords to use.
I also wasn't sure if it was just like a common thing known amongst birders. So I was like, oh, Sophie definitely knows if this is a thing. So I didn't really, yeah. Well, I mean, I could have looked it up too, but I was like, oh, Sophie already knows probably, so there's no point.
Like, the thing about birds is that they communicate with songs and calls. Like they are designed to be vocal.
Yes.
For communication. That's their whole thing.
Listen, maybe this is just Fang doing what all of us would have done, especially at like 15, hanging out with a bunch of animals and like reading way too far into them.
Yeah.
I mean, like they're talking to me, I just know it. Like,
yeah.
Because Fang clearly loves being around these birds. Like, he's having a great time. He's very relaxed, and Nudge says he is untight.
Yeah.
Which is a choice for a word to use, for sure.
Yep.
But, like, he's just having the best time, so he's probably just, like, really stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I honestly would believe that a social species, because we went over this in the other chapter, or the other episode, right? Where, like, Ferruginous hawks don't really call to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, I would believe that, like, social species, it usually means that they can recognize other individuals of their species, right?
Yeah.
And as not them, but as the same species. And so it makes sense that they would be able to, like, read body language for certain things.
It does.
Like, if one hawk is, like, suddenly, like, looking at something, like, the others, maybe? Although cats don't know how to do that, so... Like, cats explicitly I'm pretty sure can't really learn how to follow your pointing finger. They're designed to be social with humans, and they can't figure out that finger pointing means look in the direction of where I'm pointing and not just at the end of my finger.
But cats can interpret other cats' body language.
Yeah, true.
Which is more what we're talking about with these birds talking to each other.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's definitely an argument to be made that, like, Fang is trying to interpret different body language, but, like, the way it's phrased, it makes it sound like he thinks they're sending each other, like, flag signals.
Yeah, because what you're saying, like, that makes sense, where they'd be able to interpret, like, competition or
Yeah.
mating displays or whatever, but conveying that there's prey there, which is what Fang
Yeah.
seems to think they're conveying, is like, I don't think that's what is going on.
Like, it could be, going back to the cats thing, you can often tell when a cat sees something that it thinks is prey. So it could just be like, they see the other birds zeroing in on something and are like, oh, he's looking at something real hard. Something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I didn't look this up, but again, I don't think animals necessarily can understand, like, looking in a direction so you follow the direction that they're looking, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you might just watch the other hawk to be like, oh, I'll follow them because they see something, you know? But you would, maybe. Anyway, this is me hypothesizing about things I don't know.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it might come back up again, so maybe
yeah.
we'll look it up the next time it comes up and do a bit more. I honestly just thought this was like, I thought it was just going to be like a common bird thing. So I was like, Sophie, tell me more. I now realize I was wrong, and I do apologize for making that assumption.
No, that's fine. Honestly, it didn't even occur to me to look up, like, actually flocking birds, and maybe I should have done that. I mean, I did look pretty hard for ferruginous hawks communication.
Yeah, and I mean, they're not talking about other flocking birds. They're talking about ferruginous hawks.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. Maybe the ferruginous hawks are 2% recombined with pigeons.
Hey.
Yeah, that's why they're so friendly.
Yeah. Anyway,
Fang learns some new flight maneuvers, and they use them on the way to go dumpster diving.
Yeah.
Dumpster diving!
And it's revealed why they have the windbreakers, because they have those fun little Titan strings at the bottom.
Yeah, they cinch
with
at
those
the waist.
those annoying little press button tightening
toggles.
Yeah.
And the bird kids tighten them as tight as they can go, and then use them like pockets.
Why? Like, Fang has a backpack.
Fang has a backpack.
I guess it's full of ravioli.
Wouldn't a backpack get in the way of wings?
Yes, it would. But he wears it on his front, we decided.
Yeah, he carries it on his front.
I'm having... Okay, memory lapse.
No, that's okay.
No, that's fine. I was thinking maybe they're also partially recombined with squirrels or otters, which use parts of their bodies to store things for later.
Yeah. Otters are the best.
So you're saying that they actually have a pocket inside
They have a pocket in their
windbreaker.
Armpits. Yeah. No,
where they put their favorite can of ravioli.
They put their favorite can of ravioli, and they use it to bash open the other cans of ravioli.
Yeah, just like sea otters.
Just like sea otters. No, but I guess this must be like how they have survived, is they turn themselves into giant flying pockets, and then they go dumpster diving in capital D dumpsters.
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't know dumpster was a brand name until today, but turns out.
Is it?
Yeah, it's one of those generalized or genericized trademarks.
Oh, like Band-Aid.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I was like, why is this word capitalized?
Now we know. The internet and dumpsters.
Wow, the internet and dumpsters.
It does seem, as I think Sam had suggested, they do just have slits in the back of their windbreakers.
Yeah, it does seem.
Because they're flying with them.
They're flying with them on.
Well, we got confirmation of that in the Max chapter 2.
Yep. We'll get back to that momentarily, but yes, confirmed they cut slits in the back of their clothes.
Yeah. Which makes me imagine, you know, when a bird folds its wings into its body and then it like ruffles them to get them into position.
Aww.
I'm imagining they have to do that to get their wings inside the slits in their
Yeah.
windbreakers.
I like the fact that their chosen breakfast, granted they go dumpster diving, but Nudge's breakfast is salad and Fang's breakfast is 5 hamburger patties.
I don't know if I want to unpack that.
Yeah.
Listen, he has a growing bird boy. He needs all of the protein he can get.
Yeah.
So
And
is
then-
she.
But 5? Yeah. Is she gonna become vegetarian?
Oh, I
feel
think
like she
she
does.
does.
Yeah.
After this specifically.
Yeah. That like nudged something in my brain.
No, you're right. No, I think specific because she says in this chapter, "Oh, it was gross seeing them tear apart animals,"
Yeah.
and I think specifically after the Ferruginous Hawks, she becomes vegetarian.
Yeah.
You're right.
Okay, that makes me less mad, and I'm glad I didn't go on the tangent that I wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, it was not a body image thing.
But it very well could have been.
Could have
suppose so.
been.
Didn't even think. I mean, she also eats apple pie for breakfast, so
That's fair.
Oh, see, yeah. I guess that's more on me and making that assumption, my own
Ready
issues.
to be mad.
Ready
Yep.
to be mad.
primed and
Fair.
ready to go.
Oh yeah, baby. I
Yeah.
like a good salad. I bought all the things to make a chicken Caesar salad tomorrow. So
Mm.
I'm for salads, but I just am against the image of a young boy eating 5 hamburger patties and a girl eating a salad.
Yeah, that's fair.
But she's vegetarian, so I will forgive that.
Yeah, this is less a commentary on teen body image and more a
Yeah.
commentary on how North American food options are
Yes.
so
Yes.
meat
Yeah.
focused
Yes.
that if you don't eat meat, you often only have the option of a salad.
Yes.
Even if you're dumpster diving at what I assume is McDonald's
It
because
has
of the
to
burgers
be.
and the apple pie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotta be.
Shall we talk about the last chapter? And by
Yeah.
that I mean the third chapter.
Before we do that, I just want to point out, because I feel like it might come up later, I want to establish a precedent, I guess. Yes, a precedent that Nudge just cannot sit still for more than a minute or two.
Yeah, I think that we brought that up in the previous chapter.
Yeah, I just want to
Also.
mention it again because it's going to be a continuing point, I think. And also that she yells Tarzan when she jumps
Yeah.
off cliff. Quote, whatever that was supposed to mean. I'm like, you tell me, man, you said it. I
Yeah.
don't really know what Tarzan has to do with this context, but all right.
Let's talk about Max.
Let's talk about
Max time.
The only thing is that we get confirmation that Ella's mom put slits in her sweatshirt.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
really sweet.
It was very
Like,
thoughtful.
Max just wakes up terrified that something's gonna go wrong,
Hmm.
but Ella and Ella's mom are just like, we made you pancakes and we cleaned your clothes for you.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
It is.
And Max thinks about a time when Jeb was even better than a dad would have been towards them,
Yeah.
which is sad now because we think that Jeb is dead, and it will be even more sad later when we find out that Jeb is just a dick.
Yeah.
Yep.
It hits my someone needs to take care of fictional children in peril
Yeah.
thing. It's
The only maternal instinct I have.
the paternal instinct I have, they're touching it. It's like,
Yuck.
oh, yeah, it's just
But
nice.
yeah. It's a nice chapter.
It's nice that Max gets to experience being taken care of for once.
Yeah. I know Angel is in danger and being horribly traumatized
Yeah.
and tortured, but I kind of want Max to have 1 or 2 more chapters of being able to be chill.
Yeah, I do.
Wouldn't it be
know?
nice if they rescue Angel and bring her back here, and then they can all hang out at the Ella's house for a bit?
Yeah.
That would be nice. Does
That'd
that
be good.
happen? I don't
Well, the only way to find out is if we guess what happens next.
know. Oh,
What a beautiful
seamless.
segue.
Yeah, I'm going to read the first sentence of the next 4 chapters, and you guys got to guess.
Sounds
Here
good.
it is. Chapter 37.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The bell clanged jarringly, and rough hands pushed Angel forward.
Oh.
It's an Angel chapter. That
Yep.
gonna
Doing some
suck.
other procedure on her, I'm guessing.
A bell. What's the bell for, I wonder?
Who could possibly say?
Oh, are they gonna put a bell on her like a cat? That's terrible.
to keep her from hunting birds.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Or I guess in this role reversal, she would be hunting cats.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 38. Good guess, everybody.
Yep.
Chapter 38. Nudge didn't know exactly what Fang expected to see.
What were they doing at the end of that chapter? Now I can't
Did
even
they
remember.
they agreed to go off and find Max, so
Yeah.
maybe Fang
I
is
guess-
doing some like weird search pattern thing.
Yeah. He's learning from the ferruginous hawks somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe he's watching that. Maybe he has learned their language and has told them to go look for Max, and he is watching their flight patterns in the sky to see if they tell him there is a girl over here with wings. I bet that's what it is.
Oh.
Mhm.
The only possible explanation.
Yeah.
There is something tickling my memory that I think the ferruginous hawks do something wild.
Oh,
They,
yeah?
Ferruginous
they have
hawks.
been hyping up these ferruginous hawks
Yeah.
so much. I swear to God,
Yeah.
if they don't do something, like, it's gonna be an appointment.
Maybe I'm confusing it with Lord of the Rings, but maybe they come and rescue them at the end
That would be buck wild.
or something like that. Anyway, chapter 39. We're pretty safe unless the erasers catch our scent, the gas man whispered to Iggy. Really
Great.
just giving you all the names of
Yeah.
these first-
Yeah.
I feel like I know what's gonna happen in this one.
Uh-huh.
They might be hiding from the erasers.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think that's it.
It's like 4 sentences, so probably.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Chapter 40, right? 36, right? That's the number?
Yeah.
This is the last one?
One more.
Yeah, 40, yeah.
Never in my 14 long years have I ever felt the slightest bit normal, except for my day with Ella and her mom.
I think this might be a
Oh,
Max
Dr.
chapter.
Martinez. Sorry.
Oh,
was a
she gets a name.
She gets a doctor name.
Well, yeah, she gets a last
She's
name.
gonna have a normal day. They're
That's
gonna
nice.
eat pancakes and just be happy and chill.
And Max is gonna be like, man, it's so great that I haired off in a rush to go try to rescue my baby. And then I
Yeah.
slept in a cabin for a while. And
Yep.
then I went to see some other girl. And now I'm sleeping at her house for a couple days.
Yeah. Makes total sense.
Yeah,
I mean, she's 14, so I'm,
it's
giving
fine.
her the benefit of the doubt. But like, Max, this rescue mission sucks.
Yep.
I mean, her wing is objectively shot.
Yeah, if only she had not deviated from her extremely urgent rescue mission to go play hero with some girl that she doesn't know.
Uh-huh. Fair.
Yeah.
Teenagers.
Anyway, let's talk about what else we're reading so Hannah can stop complaining.
I will not.
You're right. Okay, in this exact moment, Hannah can stop complaining. I have been reading the Bringing Down the Duke series. It's historical romance. It's fine. And it's like they've got these contemporary romance covers, but they're historical romance. I'm having a good time.
Huh.
Or the first one and second one, and I just started the third one. Yeah. That's it.
I am, again, more chaotic than Sophie is, because what else
Always.
am I to fill that niche of the podcast? I finished 2 books because I decided to read Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey in like less than 4 hours over the weekend.
Yep.
Sophie can attest to that. She witnessed it.
Did she just stand there and watch you for 4 hours?
Yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
No, I just watched her reading it in 2 different rooms. And just like, oh, I guess you haven't moved.
Yeah, it's fine. And then on top of that, I've decided I like listening to memoirs while I'm like formatting documents and stuff, because you just learn more about a person you like and you don't have to follow a plot, so it's easy to listen to.
Memoirs
Yeah.
are great, man.
Yeah, so I listened to Beyond the Wand, The Magic and Mayhem of Growing Up a Wizard by Tom Felton, which I actually heard of because of Hannah, because I think you read that, right?
Yeah, I did read it.
Yeah, and that was good. And then I'm still reading Rhythm of War. Don't worry, it's still not done. I have decided, though, I will be moving to only listening to the audiobook of it, because it's just a pain in the butt to read the physical copy now.
It's so big.
It's so big.
Also, before anyone makes fun of Sam, it
Yeah.
isn't the end of March yet while we're recording this.
No, it
That's
isn't.
true.
I still have hope. I'm at like...
Yeah, you still got like a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just finished up part 3 of 5. So...
Mm-hmm.
You
There's
can do it.
hope. It's
I believe in
70%.
you.
We'll see. And I'm almost finished The Midnight Bargain by C.L. Polk, which was our March Midnight Book Club book. Anyways, that's all old news. In new news, I started reading The Adventures of Amina El Safira by S.A. Chakraborty because it was my favorite loot book and it was too beautiful.
Wow.
And I felt the need to start it, so I read 40 pages today before we started recording. Oops.
Yay!
And then I also picked up another memoir while I was working today, which is Life in the City of Dirty Water by Clayton Thomas Mueller, which is a memoir about the author, who's an Indigenous man growing up in Manitoba.
Oh.
I've only listened to like an hour of it, and it's already broken my heart a few times, so
Nice.
yeah, no, it's that.
Yeah.
Hey Sam, have you posted a picture of your fairy loot book on our Instagram?
Oh, I did, yes.
Ooh.
It's beautiful. Everyone should
It
go
It's
look.
is
so
beautiful.
beautiful. It like took my breath away
Yeah.
Yeah,
looking at it.
it's stunning. I
It's
have no
really pretty.
regrets.
The maps inside. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. No regrets. Like,
Wow.
it is pricey, and I'm fortunate to be at a point in my life where I can afford it, but oh, so good.
Yeah, of looking at all the past fairy loot boxes, I think this might be the most beautiful
Wow.
edition they've ever made of
It's
anything.
yeah, it's real nice. They outdid themselves, really, truly.
And everyone hearing this is like, damn, well, I can't get it.
Yeah, including me and
Us.
Sophie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the resale value on these books is a lot, so
Yep.
this is what I told everyone. They're like, "Oh, you're getting fairy loot." I was like, "Yeah," and it's like if I don't like the book, the resale value on all of these is insane because trust me, people will pay upwards. I saw someone who paid like $500
Oh my
for an
God.
entire special edition set of I think it was the Ember and Ashes series.
Whoa.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was, and then they spent another $400 to get a second set because their first set came back damaged,
Oh my
and
God.
so they're trying to like sell the first. So they spent $800 on special edition books of the
That's
same
nutty.
series.
You guys know that if we had $800, we would be doing the same thing. Don't even be ridiculous.
I would have to be in like a very well-off situation.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, if you had $800 that you wouldn't.
I don't know if I would do that.
I feel like I could justify up to like 2000. Oh my God,
Uh-huh.
$200.
Yeah, per book. It was a whole series.
And if it was only like Throne of Glass.
I was gonna say there's only 40 copies of the series of this special edition of Throne of Glass. Sam would spend $800 on it.
Not in my current financial situation,
That's what
no.
I'm saying.
But yeah, if I was like real rich.
Yeah, you have $800
Yes.
that you don't have anything else to do with.
Damn, if I had that, I'd have a new dry suit.
For $800?
No, but that would mean I'd have probably another 2,000 that I could just get a dry suit. I really need a new dry suit.
And the dry suit will have a special edition Sarah J. Maas printed on it.
This is why I can't spend 200 whatever dollars on special editions, because I have to buy a dry suit.
Yeah, fair.
Anyway, I'm also reading books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not reading that many books. I blitzed through If We Were Villains by ML Rio this weekend, and it was so good. I definitely recommend it. It was great. And then I started listening to Emotional Labor, The Invisible Work Shaping Our Lives and How to Claim Our Power by Rose Hackman.
I don't want to read that.
The first session I listened to it, I was like, I'm gonna fight the next man I see. And then my second session listening to it, I was like, I'm gonna go fight myself because I'm a white woman and what the fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah, if you want to be angry, particularly about sexism, but also about other isms, so far I recommend this one.
Great.
It's good for
Lovely.
that. Yeah.
Great. You can also kind of read the historical romances I'm reading because they're about suffragists trying to repeal women being property.
Oh,
of
there
their
you go.
husbands. So you can also be mad if you read those ones, because I was.
Sam, are any of your books angry feminism related?
The Midnight Bargain kind of has angry
Yeah, kinda,
women.
huh?
It's
Wow,
got
no
angry
spoilers.
woman vibes.
It does have angry woman vibes.
Yeah.
You do just keep saying it's my kind of book. No,
Yeah,
anyway.
Sophie did call us out for saying, yeah, this feels like a Sophie book. Anyway, it was super boring.
Yeah.
But you know what I bet isn't boring? I bet our April Midlight Book Club book isn't boring.
We're getting so good at segues.
We're getting so good at segues. It's so natural, you can't
Yeah.
even tell.
Yep.
But in April, we're going to be reading A Marvelous Light by Freya Marsk. And Sophie said she was going to skip A Midnight Bargain and read this one first, which I am going to call her out on because she was the one who made us read The Midnight Bargain, and she's the only one who hasn't read it yet.
Yeah. I'm also gonna call
Sophie.
her out.
Sophie,
You can't tell me what to do as long as I finish it before the end of March.
we
I don't
had
know what you're
picked a
saying.
different book to read in March, and then Sophie was like, I don't want to read that one. Let's do this one instead. And Sam and I were like, yeah, okay, let's do your choice.
Okay.
And now you haven't read it, but we have.
I would argue
Yeah.
then that we can put that book that we originally
Yeah, we'll put
chose
that
back
one in
on the
August.
list.
Yeah. Wow. That was a long discussion that you all definitely listened to. Haha.
Yep.
Anyway, if you liked this chapter of Midlight Crisis, consider rating and reviewing us on Spotify or your podcatcher of choice. You can talk to us and find fun-related content on social media. We are at Midlight Pod on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Tumblr, and all chapters of the show thus far are available on our website, midlightpod.podbean.com, and on YouTube.
And Gasman, like every YA main character, introducing the reader to their home. In case you're wondering, it's still a dump.
Why is it like that, though?
Why is it
I don't-
always a dump?
It's always
Because
bad.
you can't have a YA protagonist without some sort of tragic backstory, and they
True.
can't be a YA protagonist if they come from a good home.
They're not like other girls.
They're not
Oh,
like other
God.
girls.
Gasman is not like other kids with gastrointestinal distress.
Oh.
He's got wings.
Jesus.